Hello everyone. The Temple of Sethraliss that awaits us at the end of the Voldun questing experience. At least, I assume so, since there's no dungeon journal description quite yet, and it's a little bit tricky to put the story together. You might have seen the story of Voldun, in which we learned about a civil war amongst the Sephric, the snake people living in the zone, and their ancient history with the Black Empire. Their Loa Sethraliss sacrificed herself to bring down Mithrax the Unraveler, but in the current day and age, we have some of the Sephric that are actually working with the Sand Fury Trolls to have Mithrax make a return. We do our best to stop them, but we're unable to. The only reason why we get out of the confrontation alive, that is because the Avatar of Sethraliss, she actually helps us out. I imagine that is what's going on here. Our enemies are not being too happy with the Avatar, and they want to get rid of her once and for all. We go in, and we fight a whole bunch of snakes and trolls, with each section sealed off with a lightning door. We need to kill the bosses to proceed further in, starting with Aspix and Adaris. They wield lightning and wind as the weapon, with jolts being shot out, little cyclone strikes flying across the field, and conduction, which is placed on the target, which will explode and deal AoE damage. At 100% energy, they also use Static Shock, which is a burst of electricity. This deals nature damage equal to a certain percentage of the victim's maximum health. If you're wondering about that shadowy cloud thing that you see going on, I think that's actually a spell of one of our party members bugging out.
The sounds take me.
Deeper into the dungeon we go, which is really cool designed, with all the bones and whatnot, until we reach a hatchery of sorts, where the snakes are actually draining them. We clear out the trash until Marevka comes out to play, who has a noxious breath, which leaves toxic pools on the floor, which of course, you don't want to stand in for too long. Also comes with blinding sand that inflicts physical damage to all enemies within 100 yards, and anyone that looks directly at her during the attack, they will be blinded. Now I don't think that all the abilities were implemented properly quite yet, but after a while she gets bored fighting us. Instead, she burrows underground and has hatchlings do the dirty work. Clear the ads while avoiding her charge underground until she re-emerges and you can finish her off. Now we get to the part of the dungeon where we face the mini-games that they got for us, and I'm not even exactly sure what you're supposed to do here. Picking up the orbs that shoot at you, that charges you up, and I imagine that is the idea behind it. Fill up the bar so you can cross the white lightning ball safely. Instead, me as a paladin, I just bubbled up, while the rest of my party, they timed it right and they were just able to get across. Killing the static charged dervish that has them drop lightning orbs on the field, which combined spawns in our next boss, namely Galvuzd. Did I pronounce that right? I bet I did. Now this wind lightning elemental, it has little spires that empower him during the fight, and once the bar reaches 100 energy, he will consume the charge and deal AoE nature damage, while also gaining a buff which increases his damage done by 30%. You're supposed to stand between the boss and the spire, intercept the beam so that he doesn't get charged up and you don't get AoE'd. Now the testing is done on the normal difficulty, so the abilities, they didn't hurt all too much, and I did notice that standing in the beam, it added a stacking buff to your character. I imagine that you're going to want to rotate that and not soak the beam by yourself for too long. Moving on, we enter the chamber, that those of you who've done Blackrock Depths before, it might give you a bit of a feeling of deja vu. The idea behind it is to deal with the ads, while you carry the eyes of Sethraliss back to the proper place, in order to open up the door, in order to open up the mouth. Getting touched by the ads, that will have you drop it. So the idea is that you're either going to toss it around through your party members, or you're going to make sure that your dedicated eye person does not get disturbed. With the eyes returned to the proper place, the mouth opens up and we enter the heart of the sanctum, where the Hoodoo Hexers are casting their dark magics on the Avatar of Sethraliss. Ancient wards were designed to defend the heart, which have been disabled by the Zandalari, but taking care of them also takes care of the grounding totems. This does reactivate the defenses, which can't exactly tell that we're the good guys here, but it also gives us the opportunity to restore the Avatar. Anyone that has done the Green Dragon encounter on Icecrown, you know exactly how this fight goes. You need to heal up the Avatar while taking care of the ads, and upon full health, Sethraliss actually eradicates all enemies in the area and also disables the temple's defenses. The day has been saved and the Avatar has been restored. I really wonder what kind of role she might play in the future. Will she actually be part of the confrontation with Mithrax at some point? I can't wait to find out. For now though, thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And on to the next time, guys. See ya!